Was it really not talking that entire time? Was it really not talking? Wow. And no one in the comment section was there to tell me that I was not speaking. So this entire time I've been talking and people have been trickling in and out, but no one was here to tell me that I wasn't talking. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Well, if you guys are here, come on in, say what's up in the chat. I can't believe this entire time I was literally talking about nothing. Like no one could hear anything I was saying. That's so ridiculously funny. 20 minutes. 20 minutes I've been sitting here talking, not realizing my mic wasn't on. I finally just looked down and I was like, why is no one saying anything in the comments? Usually I have people here saying stuff. And then I turned on my YouTube page to see if I could hear myself, and it wasn't working. I was like, oh no, what's wrong? What's going on? All right. So if you guys are here in the comment section, say what's up. Say what's up. Come chill. Come relax. Have a drink. I got my drink right here. Jesus. I cannot believe for 20 minutes I had no audio. That's beyond embarrassing. All right, so for like the third time, let me break down my thoughts on everything. So the amount of technical issues I've had over the last 48 hours is absolutely historic for me. Like this shit does not happen. But whatever. I digress. We're here now. We're chatting. Guys, we got the 8 o'clock version for the West Coast audience, probably just ended. So hopefully we'll be getting some live stream action or live feeds action here soon. Finally being able to figure out who the next HOH is. So I want to go back to what I said probably for the third time now. Rachel Riley came back on our television screens. We're finally able to hear her interview with Julie. And I thought it was very interesting because one, we got to hear Rachel's side of her thoughts on everything. And I know she's done post-game interviews and stuff with different outlets, but it was nice to see her get that moment with Julie to sit in front of the crowd, which she should have got all along, and be able to share her side of everything. Now, I think the show definitely pushed where they were like, hey, so this ended up being one of the craziest twists that ended up rocking America, acting like it was like a good thing. This was not a good thing. There was no one happy with this twist. The show's trying to make it so that it makes itself look better and makes itself look like this was a good thing for the show. And it wasn't. Like, you guys can tell yourselves that all you want. This was not a good look. This is only bad. And there might be like, oh, even bad press is good press. This is not that. So to see Rachel back on our screens and being able to share her opinion, and I feel bad for Rachel because you can tell, obviously, she has no clue what's going on. She's been locked in the jury house, but she took it like a champ. And to see her back here where she's like, I feel bad. I grabbed Ava's arm and I wish I wouldn't have done that. I regret that decision. That's not on you, Rachel. First off, that's on Ava being a little crazy about the situation. But two, maybe you should have a little bit of regret because it did factor in, but it's not on you for how she reacted to it. Like, how many times are people pulled in? Mary, oh, thank God Mary's here because I have a lot of venting to do. Also, Mary, where have you been the last 20 minutes? I've literally was talking here for 20 minutes with no mic on. I've had beyond problems with my live feeds today. And I know I've lost a lot of viewers because of it. So it's very frustrating. So, Mary, I wish you would have been here 20 minutes ago because you would have been able to tell me, hey, Bobby, we can't hear you. So I just listen, guys, put your comments, your reactions to everything in the live chat. Love to hear from you guys. Love to give your opinion. Love to have like an open dialogue with everyone watching. They're acting like Rachel dragged Ava from the ATM. I agree. They're like, oh, do you regret the decision of grabbing Ava? And she's like, I do regret it. You know, I feel bad for that. No, Rachel, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault how Ava reacted in that situation. You can't control how someone's going to do it. Maybe you shouldn't have done it because look at where we're at now. But you didn't know that back in the moment. So I don't blame her for that. Also, Julie interviewing her and being like, oh, what did she say? Why am I blanking on it now? Oh, when Julie was like, oh yeah, this was something that captivated America, probably the biggest twist that's ever happened in Big Brother. And you could tell Rachel was like, oh wow, oh my gosh, almost like she thinks maybe it was like a good thing, like it was a good twist. I can't wait for Rachel to get out of the house, talk to Brendan, talk to her friends and everything, and realize how much love and support she has from this community and how much we hated this twist and thought it was the worst thing that's happened in possibly Big Brother history. So I feel for Rachel. And guys, we got the live feeds turned on here. So as soon as the live feeds do go live, we will be discussing that. And hopefully we have some information on who the next head of household is. I'm going to have to put like in the description or even in the like normal tagline, skip 20 minutes in, Mike blew out or something like that. Because I can't take down another stream because of technical issues. It just sucks, man. Not even on Housewives or Bravo Force to apologize this much. Yeah, I felt for Rachel in the interview. I thought that they were trying to cover their own asses and trying to make it look like it was like a good twist. And we saw that on the show too. We saw on the show where they were like, oh, the biggest thing that's ever happened in Big Brother history, like the most shocking thing, acting like it was a good thing. Like everyone was here for it. No one liked this. We've said it. No one liked this. It's absolutely ridiculous how much the show tried to lean in to that fact and tried to lean in and make it seem like it was a good thing. Now, another thing I want to get into that I talked about for the first 20 minutes, but let's get back into it. We had Keanu winning the blockbuster. And honestly, for me personally, this moment, him saving himself, which didn't even seem like it was close. He was absolutely dominating in that blockbuster competition. Thank God he won the season or won the blockbuster because it saved the season for me. If Keanu would have been knocked out here, I don't know how much more I would have continued on this season. And yes, I do the live stream and I podcast. I would probably still stick with it, but I wouldn't be watching the feeds. I wouldn't really care. Like Keanu is single-handedly keeping my interest in play here. Like I need Keanu there. Otherwise, my rooting interest is what? At that point, is it Vince? Like Vince is the only other one playing. Will's gone now. So there goes that. And oh, shout out to Will. Like I loved Will. Will was a fun character. Will didn't win anything. Obviously, 50-year-old man. He was hurt a lot of the season. But I loved Will as being part of this cast. And obviously, he was very loved by a lot of the castmates. So shout out to Will. I thought he was kind of done dirty getting taken out here. But it is true. Like anyone goes up against Will on the block, they're going to always be the target. So I understand it, but doesn't mean I agree with it. Obviously, I would have liked to see Will get some kind of power at some point. Been saying that for weeks, and it unfortunately never panned out. So here we are. We're back to Keanu in that competition. And right off the bat, Keanu was like, bam. Like he was just instantly in the ropes, like flipping all kinds of ways, up, down, left, right. Like at one point, it got to the point where Keanu was like at the bottom back part and like slowing down a little bit, trying to unravel stuff. And I was screaming at my TV. I was like, Keanu, I think you've done enough. I think you're fine. Like you could go and try it now and try to get to the key and put the key in. And I was getting worried that Ashley was going to just go for it at a certain point, and it might have been enough. Like maybe he was overdoing it. But luckily, when he started to go for it, that's when Ashley started to go for it. And you knew that he wasn't going to lose in that situation. So shout out to Keanu. Very happy that he ended up winning the blockbuster. I'm so over Ava. I would prefer Kelly to win. 100% agree. Ava has been so toxic on the live feeds with her vitriol for Rachel at this point. It's kind of crazy. Like Ava absolutely just has thrown everything about how bad Rachel played that and how this is Rachel's fault and Rachel sucks, all this stuff. It's disgusting to see. I'm so over Ava in this house. I'm ready for her to be gone. Ava evicted both her final two this week. I was watching on my phone while trying to deal with my daughter was playing so with her friend. So I was trying to watch the two kids. So I didn't get to see. I had to skim through like the votes, the actual votes. I did see it came down to a 3-2 vote. And I know who did I actually see vote for who? I know Ava voted for Ashley, didn't she? And then besides that, I don't know if I got to see what the other votes went, but I did see there was a 3-2 vote and Will was voted out. But yeah, like I said, shout out to Will. Not a lot to take from this episode. Like obviously a lot of it we knew. We saw how Morgan was starting to have distrust in Vince, which she should have been having a long time ago. We saw, we did see at one point, we did see Vince shout out his girlfriend and be like, I miss you. I love you. And everyone at home, I'm sure, did a visible ugh, an audible ugh. If she just picket Will over Vince on the chain, I know. If she would have just taken Will instead of Vince, where would we be right now? Who knows? I still can't believe Ava chose Vince in that moment. It still blows my mind. But I digress. So we're now 20 minutes after the episode has aired on the West Coast feeds. We still got animals on the screen for the live feed. So hopefully we do come back with some kind of information on either, hopefully, best case scenario, a live challenge, but I highly doubt that for the HOH. But worst case scenario, we get to at least see where we're at in the house. We don't have another episode of Big Brother until Wednesday. Like we've got a long wait before we see it on our television screen. So hopefully they give us more feeds than they normally would, but you never know with this show. When a man does tell you like they love you, you know they have, right? I mean, that's not necessarily true. I'm a man. I tell my wife all the time I love her. Doesn't mean I'm fucked up. It just means I love her. But yes, we do use that excuse when we know we're in trouble too. So I've gotten to the point now where as much as like Big Brother was like my first love, like it was my first reality show I was really invested in, first one I really, really cared about. I feel like I've gotten to the point now where even New Era Survivor is starting to trump Big Brother. And it makes me sad because I feel like the show is just getting in its own way. I find myself the last couple of seasons checking out at a certain point viewership wise. And I feel like that's a big problem. I feel like I always come back and I always come back, happily, but then they always do something to really just make it unwatchable at times. They want to be like the challenge so much. They do, because the challenge has success and it's been a lasting thing, but so has Big Brother. And guess what? Big Brother has always had something that made itself different. And now they are trying to be like these other shows and be something that they're not. And that's what's beyond frustrating, because you guys don't have to lean into something that you're not. Like, be what you are, be what's worked for all these years, and stick with that. The challenge has had its success in its own ways. But just because the challenge has that kind of success doesn't mean your show doesn't have its success. And I fear, and I've said this multiple times, I fear with all the cutbacks we've had on the live feeds and everything and whatnot, like we're getting to the point where is Big Brother going to cancel the feeds at a certain point? I really do worry. I really do worry that that is something that might come true. And I don't want that to be the case. Once again, guys, say what's up in the chat. Come here, give me your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. At Goodsby Bobby on Instagram and Twitter. If you guys want to hit me up, follow me on social media. Also, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby. We are multi-streaming on both platforms currently. Reality After Show on YouTube and twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby. We are multi-streaming this episode. So, or this I guess, podcast. So let me know in the comments of either what you guys are thinking. And if you give me a follow, give the Reality After Show a follow, a sub, hit the bell notification to know whenever I go live with hopefully no technical difficulties, because that was like the third time in 3 days. We had like 100 people in the live just a few days ago. And now we're sitting here with 5. I'm like, damn, these technical difficulties are really screwing up my numbers, unfortunately. So thank you guys for those that do come back to support me. It means the world to me. I had to switch to a different platform. So I'm using StreamYard right now, which isn't my favorite, but it's what we use for the podcast proper. And my Streamlabs, for whatever reason, man, I was just getting the freaking wheel of death, the buffering of death. And it just will not stop buffering in the middle of my streams. Even though I think the quality's better on Streamlabs, I don't know what's causing that. So if anyone has any technical support to help me out here, please, guys, hit me up and let me know what I'm doing wrong, because it's beyond frustrating. The casuals love the Cam Harden, Tucker, Keanu, Jag, Victor. I think that's the director's want on the show to go, or direction the show wants to go. All about challenge. They don't want to edit social and strategy because they would require effort. And that's the thing, man. Like, unfortunately, I think that's very true. And I think that they're leaning into these people that are, but see, here's the thing though. Like Tucker, I would disagree with. Like Tucker was just a fun character. I don't know. Maybe you're right, because Tucker did like win challenges. Like he's doing what Keanu did. And I can't lie. I like both Tucker and I like Keanu. Cam Harden I can do without. Jag I could do without for sure. Victor, kind of whatever. But like I do agree with like the Tucker and the Keanu of it. But at least like those guys are like playing the game. And like Keanu has constantly had to save himself and has constantly done it. The one thing that makes me happy, and this is sad to say, because we've finally gotten to our breaking point where I agree like that the blockbuster should have ended before jury. But think about this right now. If we would have lost both Keanu and Rachel in the same week, I'm out. Like, I'm out on the season. I really am. I don't know, but I digress. Still got animals on the screen for the live feeds. Hopefully we get some kind of action here soon. Hell, it might not be till like 11 o'clock at night, midnight, maybe tomorrow before we get feeds. But I'm going to stay on as long as I can to see if we can get something. Just frustrated. I mean, I think we're all frustrated. I think we're all very upset still. But the show must go on, right? Like Rachel's taking it in stride, as we knew she would. But it doesn't mean we have to agree. Keanu and Tucker should had to go home week 3 and 4. I mean, but where would we be right now if we would have lost Keanu in week 3 or 4? Would the show even be the same? Would Rachel have gotten as far as she did? We're still going to have all these twists. So clearly, as we discussed, we have a double eviction coming next week. So that must mean the only way this makes any sense is we will have back-to-back doubles, right? So we had essentially a double this week, a double next week, and there's no way we can't have a double the week after that, because even though this week wasn't a true double, it was like a stupid twist double. But we're probably going to have a double again in 2 weeks from now, or some way the mastermind's going to get involved and do another stupid twist to ruin the game. I don't know, guys. I really don't. Like, I'm at the point where this season has just kind of fallen off the rails. It really has. But I digress. Let me know how you guys feel. Alrighty. Trying to think what else there was from the episode to talk about. Obviously, we got Morgan's feelings about the whole Vince of it all, and the fact that like these people still continue to play with Vince. Like I agree with Will, where Will's like, unfortunately he wants Ava to win, which I hope that doesn't happen. But he's also like, I fear that Vince is going to win because everyone listens to his lies. And like, Will, preach, right? Like, preach. Yeah, a double at 18 and a double at 25, and we were left at 3. That's the only way it pans out. We were thinking that could be a normal week next week and then an eviction, but yeah, they're going to try to do the most like spectacle things that they possibly can do. Guys, we got 4 people here in the live. Say what's up in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about this season. Still got cats on the screen. Also, I put it out there earlier. No spoilers on this. I didn't know you didn't have audio. For 20 minutes, I didn't have audio. For 20 minutes. I was dying. I was dying for 20 minutes, dude. Like, Mary, I had no idea. I had no idea. Like, the whole time I was talking for 20 minutes and I had no audio the entire time. And then finally I look, I'm like, why is no one saying anything in the comments? I had like 20 people in here at one point. I was like, no one's saying anything in the comments. No one's saying anything. I'm like, it's very quiet. I'm asking people what they're thinking. I was like, this is not like the chat. And so eventually it dawned on me, and I turned on my headphones. I was like, let me turn it on YouTube right here and see if there's something wrong. And then all of a sudden, boom. That's the issue. That was the issue. So I finally realized, switch on your mic, and then maybe that'll change things. I just want the game to be about social and strategy. Same. But that's what we all want. That's how it should be. Not a comps-based show. That's not what anyone asks for. We want, sure, some comps for sure need to be included, but we want a social strategy game. That's what Big Brother has always been. Even the cops should be about social aspect. Agreed. But they don't want to do the effort. No. They want to be like the challenge. They want to be one of these shows that's very, very challenge based. And it sucks. So, like I said, no spoilers or anything, but I do want to get your thoughts. What did you guys think of the finale, or I guess the season of Big Brother AU v the World? I had a lot of hot takes. If you guys want to go check it out, me, Philip Solomon, and Lauren Pratt did our post game podcast on the season as a whole for Survivor AU v the World. And let's just say I had a lot of hot takes that the chat didn't necessarily agree with, nor did my co-host. But I feel very strongly about those opinions. And I think, hey, to each their own, right? Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion on a season and a show. So come for me if you want in the comments, but definitely go check out that podcast because I think it was actually really, really fun. But yeah, so let me pull this up real quick. All right, there it is. All right, so let's see. Oh, someone. Okay, I'm just gonna read this out loud because someone wrote something very in depth in the comments for that podcast. Bobby, how can you be so confident with the L takes? Social integration is part of the game. It's not only about idols and advantages. That's not Survivor. I never said that was about Survivor. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, blank had a good starting tribe because of the imbalance, but blank, blank, and blank had ways out of it. I'm not going to spoil anything. Blank and blank found both the hidden immunity idol and key to the box, respectively. The guys had a chance to make game moves if they didn't have the social capital, but yet it didn't happen. Blank, for example, was screwed from the start in all 3 times they played, but managed to make it work in the first 2 times by utilizing social strategy and advantages in the game. Also, if Boston Rob wins against Sheep, counts, then Parvati's win on a truncated season counts as well. Eh. I'm saying blank for a bunch of different names because I'm not trying to spoil anyone who hasn't seen it. I was very interested in that comment. Very interested in that comment because it was all directed at me and was all very. I mean, sure, have your opinion on that. I just feel a different way. I definitely feel a different way. And that's fine. And I don't think my takes are L takes. I think I just have a different opinion than most. Doesn't mean anyone's right or wrong, just means that's your opinion on the show that you saw. But they don't want. I like the idea of this quick seasons. Let's hope they do more. I've been on other podcasts. I think they want a back to basic season ASAP. Go back, Mary, and watch that podcast I did because I had definitely opinions on it all, for sure. For sure. But I don't think my takes were L. I think I've made a lot of very good points in that. I guess on Drag Race, they also had UK versus World, CA versus World, and the seasons are only 6 episodes with 9 queens when normal seasons are 16 queens and 16 episodes. My problem was I wasn't necessarily against, the fact that it was a shorter season. I would have preferred it to be like 21 days. My biggest gripe was it should have been equal numbers gender wise. It should have been 8 on each tribe minimum, and it should have been 4 men, 4 women on each tribe. I don't think that it should have been the way it was, where it was 7-4, or excuse me, 7-7, and 4 women and 3 men. I don't think that that's necessarily a fair way for them to play. That was my biggest gripe. Because I feel like it left certain people unable to fully play the game. All right, so still have cats on the screen. But yeah, I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. What did you guys think of tonight's episode? What did you guys think of her interview with Julie? I obviously wasn't a fan. I thought that there was a lot left to be desired. I feel like I'm glad that Rachel got her moment with Julie and in front of a crowd, and got to hear her side of a lot of different things. But I do feel like the show sequenced those questions in a way to benefit the show, which they're going to do always, and not obviously give her too much information, but they definitely structured it to make it look like the twist was a good thing. And I don't think that's a true depiction of how anyone feels about it. I agree, here in Mexico, we had survivors, so they could cast a man from here. Well, there you go. They could have just had equal genders. And I would have been saying the same thing if it was women. If the women were outnumbered 4-3, I would have felt the same way. But I digress. I don't know. I don't know when we're going to get feeds back, if we're going to get feeds back for a minute. Obviously, usually they don't come back right away. Sometimes they do. I mean, best case scenario is we get some kind of live competition. I feel like I would love to see a live HOH play out, but we probably only got one of those this season, and it was probably the wall comp. I just wish we would get more. I wish they would give us something else to look forward to, because to just come back, especially this far into the season, especially since we don't have another episode till freaking Wednesday, give us something. Yeah, Turbo's from Survivor Turkey, so I believe. So I would have loved to see Turbo out there for sure. Man, all these technical issues today, it's just been like very frustrating. It's left a bad taste in my mouth with how this whole thing has panned out. Very frustrated to see. It was like one thing after another today. It really was. And I don't know why, but I feel like whenever you're on StreamYard, it doesn't get in front of a ton of people like it does on my other platform. I don't know why that is, but I feel like when I first went live on the other platform, it was like I had like 30 people in there, 20 people in there, 30 people in there, something like that. And then it was giving me the ring of death. So I had to switch to this platform, made it all up so it at least looked good, and built this like background in like 5 minutes, just trying to have something close to what my other platform looks like. And then I go live and then not realize my mic's been off the whole time. And then today for my actual live stream that I do every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 12 noon Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific, where I talk all about reality TV, a lot of Big Brother, but a lot of reality TV. Of course, that one was a nightmare as well. So just had a lot of technical issues today. Super frustrating, super irritating. On Tuesday, I had issues as well. So it's just been one thing after another. I don't know. I might have to switch to this platform for a while until I can get things running. But hell, maybe this runs smoother. I don't know. I had to set up my Twitch on here and everything just to get it to work. I see your point. 20 days, 16 people seems fair. That's what I was saying. 20 days, 16 people. I'm not complaining one bit or another. Like, I'm happy with that. Do they even ask Jonathan to take a cut from his paycheck? So from what I know, from what I've heard through sources and stuff, Jonathan was getting like $1 million a season or something like that. And they offered it to David for like $200K a season. So it was definitely better for the show to be able to switch and make it about David, the Golden God, instead of Jonathan, which I think is a big mistake. No shade towards David, but I much prefer Jonathan as host because Jonathan has been the face of that franchise from the beginning. Also, I think the producers really like David for many reasons. So I think that was a big reason why they made the switch to David as well. We'll see. I mean, hopefully David does a good job. I'm worried based off things I've heard in the zeitgeist of how it's going, but I don't know. I wish David the best, and I hope he does well. I wish Jonathan the best. He will always be my true Survivor Australia host. But I hope David kills it, given the position. All right, I'm going to give it about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to probably have to jump out of here. I just wanted to do a fun, quick one for everybody, kind of discuss the episode. Unfortunately, Gabe will not be returning to this Big Brother season. He just had a lot of work complications, so unfortunately we couldn't make it work to have him on the podcast. And then I was having trouble finding people to join me to do the Big Brother podcast. So now I was like, okay, I'm not going to put pressure on it. I'm just going to go live when I can and talk about the latest episode by myself, which isn't the easiest thing in the world. It helps when there's people like Mary in the comments to at least have it back and forth with. So I appreciate everybody who does leave comments in the comment section and does come and hang out with me to chat, because when you're just talking by yourself, like look at Taryn, like when he does the live feed updates, it's tough. It's tough just sitting here talking about the episode. I don't think David has what it takes. However, knowing how weird Australia is, I can see they are not loving Jonathan, and David is a better match for Australian sensitives. Maybe. I agree. Like that's definitely something. And what I mean is by that is if they could have made Luke the host, they would. Don't disagree there. I think they love David and they know David's beloved, but I don't think they realized it's kind of like the Big Brother twist with Rachel. I don't think they realized the amount of backlash they'd get because how much people were upset by the change up. So, yeah. All right, we're at 9:40 p.m. Pacific time. Still no live feeds up yet. But even if we don't get live feeds back while I'm still on the air, I will be at live tomorrow to talk about everything we've seen on tonight's live feeds on my Twitch stream here on Reality After Show. And like I said, for the 50th million times, so everyone knows, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch, it helps me out a lot. Also, Reality After Show. You could look us up at After Show on YouTube and give us a sub there. HOH predictions. Honestly, my biggest worry is seeing a Vince HOH. I think that Lauren's in trouble for the. Well, it's funny. Keanu called it like we've had back-to-back Lauren HOHs where she got out people she was working with or didn't actually want to target, which is very funny. I think too many people are playing scared. Too many people are just got their tail between their legs, even this late into the season. Also, did you notice how, like, on this week's episodes, where I guess I didn't realize it until watching the episode, Lauren looks at the screen so much when she's talking to people. She doesn't make eye contact, that it's gotten to the point where it makes the people around her also look at the screen when they're talking. It's like it's almost like a second nature thing where because she's talking and looking at the screen so much. So let's pretend I'm talking to you guys, but I'm looking over here instead of actually talking and conversating with the camera, talking to you guys in person. And then, okay, I'll look at you, but then I'm back at the camera, back at watching the screen. It's gotten to the part where if you go back and watch the episode from last night where she's talking to Keanu, and Keanu half the time he's looking at the screen too while he's talking. It's literally merged into other people because she does it so damn much. I probably, obviously, I'm biased. I would want a Keanu HOH, but if that doesn't happen, I've gotten to the point where I think I'd rather have an Ashley HOH at this point. I think it's a long shot. I think it's going to be very hard for her to do because we haven't seen her win jack crap all season. But I'd like to see an Ashley HOH, Keanu HOH, or even, even a Morgan HOH, which just because I want to see if she does end up like taking a shot at Lauren, which would make me feel better about Keanu's position. So I don't know. I'm so tired of the couch. We all are. I can't believe we're still doing 3 nominees. I know. How are we here where I would prefer Kelly winning over Ava or Lauren? That's this season in a nutshell. It really is. Morgan wants Lauren gone bad. Yeah, and so that's why I'm glad, because if she can, she'd take the shot at Lauren. It's tough. I mean, that's why I would like to see a Morgan HOH, because if she takes a shot at Lauren, we could have Lauren gone. The thing is, how are we going to play out the Thursday episode with both the blockbuster and the double eviction? Because that we've never seen before, right? We didn't see that last season, did we? Where there was the blockbuster still at the double eviction? I don't think so. So how are they going to play out the blockbuster, then go into the vote out, then go into HOH, then go into veto, then go? Oh, I guess it is an extended episode, isn't it? Isn't it like an hour and a half? So maybe that's how. Because I think it's longer than it was. So 3 comps in one night plus 2 votes. Yeah. So excuse me, blockbuster, vote out, HOH, veto, vote out. Yeah, it is an extended episode. I think I saw that. It was an hour and a half. And then we have a 2-hour episode for the Wednesday episode. So kind of interesting. We all were predicting the triple there. We were. I was predicting this next week was going to be just a normal week. We go back to basics with no blockbuster. It may be blockbuster, but maybe not. And then I was saying triple eviction at the final week on the 28th. But it looks like we're not getting that. All right, guys. So we're an hour into the stream. Once again, apologies once again for my technical difficulties. Sucks. Didn't want it to happen. Really frustrated that it did happen. I'm gonna have to put in the comment section, or I mean in the maybe in the title for YouTube. Skim to through the first 20 minutes to technical issues or something like that. We get it, Bob's, you old. Feels that way. Feels like I'm getting old, man. This sucks. But 9:45, probably should cut it here. Who knows when the feeds will come back on. Talked a lot about the episode. So if you can, guys, sub at Reality After Show, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby. Shout out to our sponsor, Watertown Whiskey. Drink responsibly. They're awesome. They're here supporting the podcast, supporting all of us. You can find me at Goodsby Bobby on both Instagram and Twitter/X. If you guys want to follow me there for whenever I do go live, and you guys can hit that bell notification so that you are notified whenever we go live with the podcast or whenever I go live with another stream here on the channel. So with that being said, I'm probably going to head out of here. We will be live again tomorrow, Friday from 12 noon. Hey, HK, thank you so much. What's up? Appreciate you being here. We'll be live again tomorrow, 12 noon Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific, and I'll be able to break down everything that's happened on the feeds that we get either tonight or tomorrow. Hopefully we get anything at all. Otherwise, we'll have to figure out what we're going to talk about. But also, we still have part 3 of my sequester game that I played on the Rahap sequester back 5 years ago. We're doing a rewatch of that, having a lot of fun doing that. It's been a lot of cool, really cool to see a lot of stuff that I didn't know that was happening behind the scenes. A lot of shit people were talking behind the scenes that I wasn't privy to because I haven't watched the actual edited version. And this was 5 years ago. So that's been a lot of fun. And part 3, I think, is going to get very spicy. I'm still in the game for those of you that had never seen it before. So definitely go check that out. We'll be probably talking about that after we talk about the live feeds tomorrow. So with that being said, peace out, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later.